Anti-fracking campaigners have tried to blockade the site of an oil rig that's been installed today near Gatwick Airport. The rig at the Horse Hill site will be used to test the flow of oil in the area. The Oil and Gas Authority gave permission for the test last month.
Good morning, this is Horse Hill crew at Horse Hill, looking at the drill on a lovely Thursday morning. At least it would be lovely if that thing. We're going to be here all day if people would like to come down. The only thing we're short of is hot water, really. Big on spirit, short on hot water. Oh, that's some fellow ramblers arrived. Off they come.
Hiya.
Morning. No, I managed to get. I haven't had one yet actually, so I'll give you advance warning. Okay, we'll be signing off. Our fellow ramblers have arrived. We're going to have a chat with them. Hopefully, we'll see some of you later. We are here at Horse Hill. Walking along the highway.
Okay. I believe you're willfully obstructing the highway.
Walking along the highway.
Or excuse, contrary to section 137 of the Highways Act. I'm warning you. Stop the obstruction.
Sorry, what was it again?
If you do not
could you tell me what the act was?
Remove yourself from the highway. It may be necessary for me
or
another officer to arrest you.
What was the act again?
Would you please remove yourself from the highway?
Okay, what was that act again?
Okay, I've told you it's section 137 of the Highways Act.
Okay.
You're blocking the road.
I'm not blocking the road. I'm allowed to walk along the road.
Holding up this lorry here.
I'm not on the. I'm
off your action, you're committing an offence.
I'm not on the highway.
And I ask you to gain. You ask me to remove.
You can stop now. I've removed myself from the highway.
You have removed yourself from the highway. That is correct. Okay. you're on the verge there. Okay.
I'm on the verge of insanity.
Okay. By your actions here, okay. Think the amount of time and money you're costing. You've held up all these other people by walking slowly in front of that vehicle. You've obstructed this traffic. Look at the amount of traffic you've held up here. There are vehicles that are unrelated to this site, okay? So I'm going to tell you to remove yourself from the highway and not to do that again, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for removing yourself.
Just to be clear, is that the highway there?
The highway is here. Okay. The white line demarks the highway from the private dwelling of the site.
Okay. And that process you were just going through there, was that some sort of warning
There was a
process?
warning to yourself, yes.
And how many warnings would there be in that?
There'll be no. You've been warned now. From steps 1 to 5, you've been warned up to 3. Okay. So I've told you. I've advised
1.5
about
actually.
Warning about obstructing the highway.
Okay. So I've had one and a half warnings.
No, how far we've gone is not to be discussed at this time. Okay. I've given you the warnings. You've evidenced it for yourself. We've recorded it. We know the warnings I've given you and the explanations I've given you for obstructing the highway.
Just to clarify, this warning process, does it begin again if I was to do that again?
No, it doesn't begin again.
So it's 5.
You're aware of what I've told you.
This is for our solicitors.
Yeah, that's fine. I've given you the warnings. Okay, what I've told you stands from now. You're aware of what your actions can do. Okay. So you're aware of it. I've told you.
Well, I'm not fully aware of it because I don't agree with it. I think you're actually wrong.
Well, okay, that's fine. Whether you agree with it or not, I've given you the warnings. Okay. That's fine.
So if I was to do that same thing again, what's going to happen?
Well, when it comes to it, hopefully you won't do it again, but if it happens again, we'll
hypothetically,
from there, and we'll see at the time, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to speculate as to what will happen now, because...
And how many warnings will there be from that point?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, this was actually clarified for us when we were here before. We were actually...
I don't know who that officer was, I'm not going to clarify it for you today.
No. Why won't you clarify that for us?
Because I've no need to clarify it for you.
Well, you have, because you're telling me that I'm going to commit an offence, and if I want to avoid committing that offence, I'm entitled to know. Well, hang on. I'm entitled to know how I can avoid committing that offence.
You are.
So, how many? If I go back on the road, how many warnings will I get before I'm arrested?
No further warnings. What I've told you stands the rest of the day.
Well, you told me just down there that you were going to give me 5 warnings.
No.
You did?
5-step appeal.
Yeah, 5-step warning. Okay, so I have now got 2 warnings. Sorry, 2 warnings.
Well, if you obstruct the highway again, I have to escalate it. Then we'll escalate from the point that we left off. Okay? And that's that at the moment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not fully clear, in my opinion. And the fact that the magistrate actually warned the CPS not to bring any of these slow walking cases back to court last spring kind of throws the whole thing into the area of questionability, to my mind. But that doesn't matter if you're just trying to enforce an unjust law. Hello, my friend there, I'll be with you in a minute. Okay, if people around the country could share this travesty, be with you in a moment.
No, that's fine.
If people could share this and get us as much information and advice as possible, be much advised, because we're being told a different thing every time we go on the road. First day we walked something in, we were told that we weren't breaking the law. Today we're being told we'll be arrested for setting foot on the highway. What's this area here, which you said is the highway?
Anything this side of the line, sir, is the highway.
Well, no, your colleague there said that this area here, between the road and the gate, was part of the highway. So, will I be arrested if I walk on that?
Anything over that line is...
So where do I... So to get to there, I have to cross the road, walk along and go around there. Is that the case?
Yeah. This is the highway.
Okay, so we can't have... Oh, that is very interesting. Perhaps you might like to get your guy to clarify. Excuse me, could you just clarify a small point for me, please? Could you just... Yeah. I'm not trying to hassle you, I mean, it's actually... Yeah. Now, you said to me just now that that area there in front of the gate, between the gate and the road, was public highway.
The white line, the solid white line there, demarks the boundary between the private property and the highway.
Okay, so I can walk across that concrete area.
The concrete area, my understanding, is going to be... Actually, I will clarify that for you.
Because your guy just told me that if I walk across there, I'm breaking the law.
Well, I don't know if they mean that the white line there or the white line of the...
Well,
I'll clarify that for you and get back to you, okay?
I think when you look into boundary lines, you're going to find some very interesting... can you not quite shove your furry ferret quite as close into my face as you were doing, please, officer?
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. If you look into that, get some clarification, because is it safe for me to have to walk across the road there and, you know, just to get to that other side? I'd rather walk across the concrete. Can I walk across the concrete?
I'll find out for you.
Okay, well, I'm going to walk across the concrete, and you can arrest me for walking across that concrete if you want.
Well, the issue is obstruction of vehicles, okay? I've told you about walking in front of vehicles.
Yeah.
What I've said to you is you're not to walk on the highway to obstruct the vehicles using the highway.
Well, I wasn't trying to obstruct the vehicles. I was just walking along the highway, which is my right. I wasn't attempting to obstruct the vehicles.
You were obstructing the vehicles while you're acting.
Well, I might have been doing so accidentally, but it wasn't my intention.
Regardless, you were obstructing the vehicles, okay, and I've advised you about that, okay? And that's where we are at the moment. So any of the vehicles that come on the highway, you're not to walk in front of vehicles on the highway, so to obstruct.
But what about my own vehicle? Stationary vehicle.
You can stand in front of your own stationary vehicle all you like.
On the highway.
Okay?
Okay.
I suggest you the verse.
Because to get into my car, I have to go onto the highway.
Of course you do.
If a car comes along, as I'm getting into my car, and it has to stop...
And how long would it take to get into your car?
I don't know, I might have to, you know, do something to...
Well, if you actually obstruct vehicles on the highway, okay, the warnings I've given you still stand.
Okay.
Okay?
Very interesting. Thank you.
I'll find out about the white line for you. We'll get back to it.
Thank you.
The white line here demarks the highway and the private premises and outside.
Okay.
Okay? That's the clarification I'm going to give at the moment.
So, does that mean I can walk on that bit of concrete?
This is highway, okay? That is private premises.
Okay.
Okay, that's all, yeah.
Can I walk across there?
You can walk across there, of course, but it's not supposed to obstruct any vehicles.
But,
or people going about the lawful business.
But what about if I'm just walking along and, you know, I'm still moving, I'm still not obstructing? By law, if I'm moving, I'm not, sorry, I'm filming the road.
You can be obstructing if you're moving.
Well, there's not, because the obstruction has been defined in law as being stationary.
Well, I'm giving you my interpretation, okay? If vehicles are trying to enter and exit that site, and people are willfully standing in front or going about activities to slow their progress or prevent them from doing their lawful activity, that will be obstructing the highway.
I wasn't preventing anyone.
Okay, well, I just said that's
I was just walking along the highway.
Time, okay? That's into my piece. Okay?
Cut. Yeah. Plates.
I'm allowed on the highway.
This is a bit bizarre, isn't it? People aren't even on the road and they're being harassed. She's not on the highway.
I'm not on the highway.
That's the bird.
Look where your feet
I am
are,
on the highway.
and I'm on the bird.
You know what you're doing, don't you? You're acting as security for a private corporation. You're not protecting our right or facilitating any protest here. You're just facilitating corporate ecocide.
Entering to pollute the land, and then you're pushing citizens who
They don't care about their children's
out of
future.
the way. You're ridiculous.
Would you like to have a quick word?
Go for it.
You prepared to come out and stand?
Come to this side.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to stand in the road?
Could you clarify for me under what act and what law you were sort of charging us with when we were walking along the highway earlier?
When I spoke to you earlier,
Yeah.
there was an offence under section 137 of the Highways Act 1980.
Okay.
For obstructing the highway.
Okay.
I wasn't charged with anything. I was issuing you with a warning.
A warning.
No, you were obstructing the highway.
Yeah.
It may be necessary to take action against you if you continue to do it.
Okay, well we've just spoken to our lawyers and they've said that for willful obstruction of the highway to occur, the person must be stationary and previous cases of law do apply.
Okay, that's fine. If you got to the court stage, that's
Yeah.
the point of me arguing in court. But at this moment in time, I'm not a prosecutor for that.
No, so but having just recognised the fact that I've just told you
Yeah.
from our lawyers that willful obstruction of the highway to occur, the person must be stationary, you've just seen that what you're telling us
That
is wrong.
interpretation From your law is different to my interpretation from it, okay?
Okay, so why is that then?
I don't know, because the law's not black and white, it's open interpretation.
But knowing that actually 90% of these cases have been thrown out of court doesn't influence your opinion in any way there?
No, it doesn't. I'm not the trial authority. I merely look at the facts, gather the evidence, try and establish whether an offence has or has not occurred.
Okay, I'm just wondering why your interpretation is actually going against what we feel is our human right to do Why?
I can't say that's my interpretation. That's my interpretation of it. Okay.
Well, I'm pointing out to you that your interpretation is against our human rights.
Why do you think that?
Well, because we have a human right to walk along the public highway by law.
Okay, of course you can walk on the highway, but if you're walking on the highway prevents other lawful activities.
It wasn't preventing.
Okay. Well, it's disrupting.
We can pass and repass, as the law says.
Of course, yes, you can on a highway. It's pass and repass. But if your intention isn't to travel from point A to point B with an objective.
How do you know what my intention was?
Well, I don't know. Because I'm not speaking to you about it. That would be interviewed. If that was the case, we'd be interviewed about it, and then we'd ask you under interview about it. Okay.
Well, you never did. Surely you should do that before you try and implement a law based on your interpretation.
That would be under caution. I'd be looking to get your version of events after the scene. Okay. What I can say to you is my interpretation of what occurred at that time was it was willful obstruction of the highway. Okay. You disagree with it based on what your lawyer says?
Well, no. That is actually that is a statute that for willful obstruction of the highway to occur, the person must be stationary. What do you not understand about the word stationary?
Well, you're telling me this comes from your solicitor.
Yeah.
I've spoken to your solicitor. Okay. Your interpretation is obviously different to mine. We'll have to leave it at that, unfortunately. I can stand and debate this all day with you. Your interpretation of it, my interpretation of it, whether it's right under your view, or whether it's right under my view. Okay. That's the way it is. I've listened to what you've said. Okay. It doesn't change the warnings I've issued to you already. They still stand, okay? The vehicles need to be able to enter and exit the site to perform their lawful authority, their lawful duty, okay? Which is what they're doing on site at the moment, okay? If people willfully obstruct them doing that, then that would be...
Does it bother you that your interpretation might be costing taxpayers money when they have to go to court to actually... Oh, you don't want him to answer that one?
That's what, no, my interpretation is my interpretation. We are, yeah. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll come back from there.
Okay, so I'll interpret your reaction there, that you don't actually care that you're costing taxpayers money by taking us to court unnecessarily when we're not breaking the law, which is actually what you've just proved. Thank you very much. At Horse Hill. Note how the man is not stationary. Note how he's moving along the public highway. She's not even on the highway. At no point did he stop moving. At no point was he stationary.
I'm not a well man.
She didn't care. Okay, another interesting one. This is at the back of the site, and this is just evidence that vehicles have been entering the back of the site, which, as far as I can see from the Planning Commission, they're not allowed to do. Now, it rained at the weekend heavily. It's been dry since. These tracks are fresh. You see the difference between a track that's been rained on, my big finger, and a track that hasn't been rained on. Now, the tracks go all the way down the entrance, the rear entrance to the site. So you can see here. Now even if it was pre-rain, they're still not supposed to be using this as an entrance. Let's see, still fresh. Now I was up here last week, these tracks weren't here. I'm responding to a local person who told me about this, said they were concerned. One of the many people that use this public footpath, or was a public footpath, for jogging, cycling, walking dogs. So you can see how fresh this is. We haven't got enough eyes to cover every entrance. You can see the tracks. Go into the back of the site. Now the ground's drier here, very dry. This is concrete here and chalk, so it doesn't show up. But anything that's got this far would have had to have reversed round if it had just come into this area. There's no evidence of that. You could only have reversed there where that wet patch is, or it could have gone in through that gate. And I'm kind of pretty sure. I think that another view of the Ree. Turn it off now. Thanks for watching. No, don't want to get grabbed. That's the thing. We mustn't be stationary.
It's gone. It's only these two.
Yeah, but they're filming. Can they get you after?
Good luck with that.
Is he from here? No, this is shoddy. This is this is the biggest victory of the day. They weren't ready for him. This is the drill bit. Yeah, let the cars through. Jason, now this is a bit of a quandary because they weren't ready for him.
They say we're sort of blocking up the road.
Yeah. We're blocking the road, apparently, but they don't know where to turn off.
There's the two dollies that we've been doing.
Or he's having to reverse back. Very dangerous. Holding up traffic. That's very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. Very dangerous. Oh, mind yourselves. Shit, I thought
That's
drill bit. That's all the stuff that's going in the ground. It's a bit rusty to me. Give me a warning, okay?
No.
Okay? You are obstructing the highway.
And harassing me. Do not smile at me whilst you are
This is cool.
Why are you intimidating?
Why are you intimidating this woman? The lorry's up
Do you get off on this or something?
Stop harassing me.
Why are you intimidating this woman? She's asking.
You've got no right to talk to her like that.
We are within our rights to walk down the road.
You speak at time and I'll speak at any speed.
But your purpose to walk down the road is to obstruct the lorry.
No, it's not. Our purpose is to try and film what's going in. And because you're letting them drive so fast, we can't see what's on the back of the lorry because it's going in too fast. So we try and slow it down so we can film what's going in. Because we're the only thing that's regulating that in there. You're not regulating it, are you? You're regulating us.
Right. Your behaviour, I've warned you about obstructing the highway already, okay?
She's not obstructing the highway because she's moving.
Do not keep standing in front of the lorries as they go in.
She wasn't standing in front of a lorry. She was walking along the highway, which is her right as a bloody human being. Stop following her around. Why are you picking on someone, eh? I was in the road. Why aren't you picking on me? Because I'm not a female, that's right. You're talking to her when she's standing on the side of the verge. You asked her to get off and she got off. I think you should look in the mirror when you get home tonight. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You always pick on the women. Once again, we've seen it all over the country, targeting the women because they think they can crumble. Well, they're wrong.
Do you believe in democracy? Do you? Do you believe in democracy?
What kind of job do you think you're doing? What kind of job do you really think you're doing? Would you treat your own sisters and your own mothers like this?